really saying that we will dip into recession?
I think that we're already there, and that it just hasn't been officially declared because of our GDP, which has been supported by a lot of governments.
It's a change.
Well, for one thing, the fiat
year, as you were noting, lowest since 2023. I mean, we're at the lows of the year, no doubt.
Absolutely.
So do you think that the Fed should bite the bullet and go with 50?
Well, I think that in order to
earnings season, I mean, and you look at the forward earnings, there was a lot of concern about the consumer, no doubt. But what was your takeaway from earnings season?
Well, I think obviously we had a mixed bag, you know.
What do you tell some of these folks?
I think if their risk tolerance is such that they can.
So, I mean, Mark Faber came out. He called the 87 crash.
Yep.
Remember him of the gloom and doom
Yes.
report. You know, he's saying much of the same, how the Mag 7 is gambling and, you know, what do you tell them to buy then when you're 30% down? What do you buy?
Right now, we are
essentials and drugs and airlines. I mean, take profits.
I think that you should take profits because this is a system.
Wall Street right now.
Yep.
So what brought you to this point, and how different is it from your call, let's say a month ago? What changed?
Well, when you have the Somme rule,
administration change things.
I think that you know, a Trump.
In the prospectus, the fund may invest in securities. When we think about the investors that are turning to Palmer Square, what kind of investors are they? Are they more risk takers? I mean, do you have a variety? I mean, with $32 billion under management, you have everybody. But what would be sort of the mantra of the company?
Yeah, we have a very diversified client base, I will say, but we've actually grown up on the financial advisor.
In the future, I mean, you're probably always sort of, you're here now, but you know, CEOs always have visions of 5 years from now. I mean, are you sort of, are the wheels turning?
There's more to come.
Yeah.
I agree with Bert that the quarter was quite good.
Okay, so you did like the margin expansion to actually turn that margin around. Is it sustainable? And when we think about the competition in that competitive space, everybody talks about Walmart all the time. Granted, I think the consumer, the difference, do you think they do a lot of their own manufacturing? Could that set them apart for the long run?
It helps. It's certainly in a...
What kind of time frame do we see for the Albertsons deal quickly, Bill?
It should be next week, closing.
And quickly, Bert, you're involved also on the labor side of things. Quickly?
We worry about the sustainability of the gross margin. It was there.
Bill Kirk at Roth Capital Partners, Bert Flickinger, Strategic Resource Group. Makes sense. So there will be appeal to investors because there's such a wealth of products, an array of products, I should say, with all that cash that may be sitting on the sidelines. Then we turn your attention over to a different group. You said as far as fund flows, you're also watching tech dominance and contrarian areas.
Yeah.
Let's start with tech because everybody loves to talk tech.
So tech has been, being long tech has been the right call for some.
Those are the ones that have been phased out a little bit lately. You mentioned healthcare, staples and materials would go in there, maybe energy, right?
Yeah.
So might we see that cyclicality that people start to say these have been beaten down, but they'll keep tech?
Yeah, I mean, I would guess
Traders survey where more than half the folks were feeling bullish. Love to hear people feeling bullish, but then I start to worry about the contrarian indicators. You know, if everybody's sort of feeling bullish. We had a guest on today who was calling for a 30% pullback, systemic risk, concerns. You had Mark Faber earlier this week who talked about the Mag 7 being gambling. I mean, I've heard a lot of people lately just getting nervous, maybe because we had that big August 5th sell-off and some recent volatility. I mean, what do you say? Are you hearing some of that, and what do you say?
I think there is concern that...
I mean, you think the Fed should just do the 25 basis points and be gradual about the whole thing, or are you hoping for more?
I would say, based on the spread between Fed funds,
late, you
a little
think,
behind
maybe.
the
Well,
curve
the
now.
ECB already just cut for the second time
Exactly.
today, so maybe some people do think they're late. Okay, great to see you. Thank